For me, things started in San Francisco. I graduated with a BFA in illustration and design from the California College of the Arts. And after I graduated, I didn't know what to do. My teachers tried to push me to do children's books and to do editorial illustration, but that's not something I wanted to do. What intrigued me was the process of taking my ideas into physical form. I was taught conceptual thinking and technical skills in school, but how do I get my ideas into an actual physical form? Like if I wanted to make a shoe, or if I wanted to make a shirt or a chair or something, like what is that process? And so after 2 months of thinking about that, I moved to Hong Kong. I knew that China was the manufacturing capital of the world, and I knew that Hong Kong was the gateway to China. But while living in Hong Kong, I wanted to continue doing art shows. I used to do around 6 to 9 shows when I was living in the Bay, and I wanted to do that in Hong Kong and try to do more work in Asia. But when I was there, the hot art commodity in Hong Kong was mainland Chinese art. And because I was not mainland Chinese, there was no investment potential in my work. So I had two things that I could do. I could either complain or do something of my own. And so I started the Above Second Gallery, which were the previous slides. And that was where the first POW WOW was born. The name came from comic books, POW being the impact of art on its viewers, and WOW the response to that art. And POW WOW as a term describes a gathering that celebrates art, music, and culture. And so the first POW WOW brought 7 artists and musicians together, and it worked out. Then it was like, what do we do next? And we wanted to try to do it maybe in Shanghai, Beijing, Singapore, or Berlin. And my good friend Krista Whitmire convinced me to try to do it back home in Hawaii. So we did. And we did the first one at Fresh Cafe on Lofton Space in Kakako, which is owned by Tiffany Tanaka. And we brought about 12 artists. And when we did that first POW WOW, we had a bunch of sponsors, and a bunch of them dropped out last minute. And there wasn't enough funding because a lot of brands felt that art wasn't a good vehicle to promote. They wanted to do more a party or a concert or action sports or something. And so I was given 3 choices. 1, to either cancel and give up on it. 2, to scale it down. Or 3, to just do it all the way. And I chose the third option, and I pulled out my credit card and I maxed it out. So it put me into pretty bad debt, and I'm probably still trying to pay for that debt now. But it helped to sort of just help to get it out there. And then while I was there, then we also, I moved back to Hawaii after living in Hong Kong for 4 years. And I helped to run Lofton Space Gallery with Tiff. And we did the shows that you saw just recently with Patrick Martinez, Crink, Aaron De La Cruz, amongst others. And we wanted to keep doing powwows here in Hawaii. And so the idea was the first one, which is this one, we did one wall. And we had about 12 artists. And afterwards, we wanted to maybe do another wall nearby, or maybe do the street the following year, and maybe an adjacent street the year after that. And then keep going until we could do the whole neighborhood. But the following year after that, which was last year, we skipped all the steps to get to the whole neighborhood, and we just did the whole thing. We did about 60 artists, and we did 20 or so murals in a week. And this past POW WOW, in February, we had about 100 artists, and we did about 40 murals in a week. And we now have an art and music school for kids that we are running year-round. And we actually have a video of the first year of the POW WOW Music School, which you can see on powwowhawaii.com. And we also do a lecture series partnering with the Intersections program at UH. And we have we have another mural festival that we're doing in Portland called Forest for the Trees that's happening next week. And we're planning powwows in Israel, Jamaica, Taiwan, and possibly Germany. And so we want to do one in Hawaii every year, and as well as one in somewhere else in the world. And then aside from outside, like other events such as art shows and different things. And so these are some of the murals that we've done. This one is by Roan from Australia. That's at the Aloha Key Wall. We can't paint on that wall ever again because they don't like us anymore. They said that they want to charge us around $1,000 a day for using their parking space. So that's never going to happen. So that's going to stay there forever. This one is by the Starbucks. This one is done by artists from Australia, Cambodia, London, San Francisco, and here. And they just freestyled it. There was no plan. This one was done in the park on Cook Street between artists from Japan, Canada, France. We call it the homeless park because so we paid in homes on the homeless park. The one in the back is done by Roan and Wanderlust, and the one in front is done by Night Shows from Austria. And that one was it was a memorial piece for his grandfather who passed away while he was in Hawaii. And so he wanted to paint a reindeer because they used to go reindeer hunting. And this one is from Matt Stees and from California and Roy from London. And they did a King Kalakaua mural. And what's interesting about this is Matt Stees came to me saying that he wanted to paint a mural of King Kalakaua, and I told him you can't just paint Hawaiian royalty without asking someone for permission first. And so we connected him with a Hawaiian priest, and they took him to the burial grounds to get permission, and they took him to meet seers, and then they blessed the wall before they even got painted. So the mural became more than just a mural; it became something more spiritual for him.